guys, this is one more touristic walks, and today we're going to visit Mayfair. All around we're gonna visit all the key streets such as Duke Street, Holy Street, Parker Street, and Grosvenor Square and Berkeley Square and Mount Street. So I'll see you there. Adios. Peace. So hi guys, this is one more touristic walks, and welcome to my channel. And today, guess what, we are going to visit the Mayfair West End. So at the moment we're at the Waterloo Place, and we are climbing up the Waterloo Place. As you can see, it's a little bit steep, very little bit, and as you can see, English flags everywhere. Makes the place look festive. And we're gonna make a left turn into a Piccadilly, and actually we are approaching Piccadilly Circus. We're gonna make a left from there and head towards Mayfair. So guys, Mayfair is a very small area, most likely the biggest as the Hyde Park. On the south side of it you got the Piccadilly, a road called Piccadilly, and on the north side of it you got a famous road called Oxford Street. So it's basically surrounded with two major roads. So we're going to start from Piccadilly and go into Bond Street, New Bond Street, and we're going to take everything from there. It's an affluent area such as Pimlico and Soho and Belgravia. So let's have fun. See you at the scene. So today is the 13th of June 2023, and it's about 26 to 27 degrees Celsius in London. Quite hot, and the sky is clear with no clouds whatsoever, which is very, very desirable weather. Right, let's continue walking Waterloo Place and get on with our video. So as you know guys, I keep coming here most too often. However, this Piccadilly Circus is my point of junction. We're going around the West End. This is where I'm coming from. Is where I live is I'm very close to West End, and I keep walking here. So this is my point of junction to know where I am and where I'm gonna go. So you get, every time I do a video concerning West End, you will see Piccadilly Circus first thing on my videos. So this is Piccadilly, guys. So basically we're in the Mayfair, and technically, and Piccadilly, we need to cross the road and move into a New Bond Street. That's my first street, and we're gonna go through a few key streets in Mayfair, which are all where major shops, restaurants, bars, 5-star hotels, and so forth. Oops, we're caught in the traffic. Switch off, guys. And you got this all this architecture, a bit like Roman, ancient Roman type stuff, which is Very, really nice looking white stones. Yeah. And this building looks like a huge mansion, but it's not. So it's got many ground floor retailers. Joe the Juice. And you got here eating place here. Cafe Concerto. Piccadilly Place. Fruit and Manger. There. So we're at the moment we're passing Swallow Street as I'm crossing it over. So we go opposite direction of this road, guys, Piccadilly, and we go all the way up to Piccadilly Circus. Past the Piccadilly Circus, we end up somewhere Chinatown and Trafalgar Square and Leicester Square. They're all connected, close to one another. Sackville Street. Oh. So basically, you've got lots of constructions happening here and there. So this must be the Burlington House, right on the right hand side, guys. As you can see, lots of signs, backdrops of signs. Some exhibition giving you all kinds of information. Burlington House. So guys, this is a bit like a Somerset House, but just this area. It looks a bit like Somerset House. So Somerset House is next to Waterloo Bridge. And basically at the head of us, you've got like eating section, and you've got the statue there, the memorial statue. Let's see who he is. Who is the guy? Joshua Reynolds, Sir Joshua Reynolds. Okay. So it's a very small place, guys. I'm going to move out and continue our journey to our main video. Sorry, no problem. So guys, we have to actually find the New Bond Street. As you can see on the right hand side, there's the Piccadilly Road, or Piccadilly Place as it's called. Very upscale retailers, Coles, Rich House. You got the case. Um, the whiskey shop. Wow. So basically, whole place is very, very affluent, guys. And we are at the old Bond Street. So we're gonna take the entirety of the Bond Street, guys. We're gonna go there. Then we're gonna go back to Conduit Street, and then we're gonna move up Bond Street, and we're gonna make a left into Oxford Street. But I don't know what this is on the right hand side. It looks like it's the entrance to a very, very upscale, whatever it is. So guys, we're at the Bond Street, so I'm gonna give you background facts about Bond Street now. Stand by. New Bond Street is the Mayfair's premier shopping district, housing some of the most luxurious shops and outlets. Many have noted that Mayfair's new Bond Street is the most expensive stretch of retail in Europe after Champs-Élysées in Paris. London's famous Bond Street is revered throughout the world for its wealth of elegant stores, exclusive brands, designer fashion, luxury goods, fine jewellery, art and antiques. So does anyone live on Bond Street? Courtesy of a protected lease inherited from his father, Claridge is the last resident of Bond Street. Alone among the window displays of brands such as Dior, Cartier and Osprey. So, we just gone through the narration, guys. We're going to continue walking Bond Street and see plenty interesting bits and pieces. So we're at the Mayfair, officially at the Mayfair. Mayfair is in the West End, and the borough is City of Westminster. Basically, it's a very, very narrow street. You got cars coming opposite direction, so it's two-way, but it's a little bit narrow. Chatelier, there is.
Because industries everywhere, they get people from Asia.
So this is the Ralph Lauren, guys. So I keep noticing there's a lot of these telephone boxes are everywhere now. They used to be around back in even before I was born, and they're still around, but not for operation. It was something like for a touristic attraction, basically. I think they keep them around for some sort of nostalgia. Because basically there's nothing in there. A lot of people actually take photos, or just standing by the box, or opening the door and going inside and peeking out of the through the box while the door is ajar. So guys, what we're gonna do is find the Conduit Street. As you can see, when I was doing dummy running, there wasn't any of this construction thing going on. I think it's because it's a week, because I was here on Sunday. Yeah, I was here on Sunday, and it was much more nicer because there's a lot more people around, and now because it's a weekday, it's a kind of a working day. Hopefully I'm gonna cross the road got Chanel there. I think it's a woman's boutique and perfume and makeover stuff. And I think we're coming to the Bruton Street, hopefully. So guys, first of all, this is the Bruton Street, one of the key streets in Mayfair. First of all, we're gonna go to the Conduit Street, opposite direction. So you really got to watch out because the junctions are a little bit different from our normal junctions, and there's a lot of things blocked up. So another telephone box. Is there something in it? Because there's a telephone in it, but it doesn't look like it's working. It says pool. Oh, it's got telephone in it. Okay, I don't know if it works or not. It looks like it's. I don't know. I didn't think they used them. Bathing ape, if you want the stylish. Berluti. Oh, this is the men's clothing shop. Yeah. So basically, guys, in Mayfair, last time I come here, if you want to buy anything, it's 3 times the price or normal prices. 3 times. So if you want to like buy something, it's 3 times as much. If you want to buy like a bottle of Coke, it costs me something like £3.50 for a bottle of Coke, instead of they usually something like £1.60. So because it's an affluent area. So guys, this is the Conduit Street, and that's what it is. So we're gonna cross the road. So we're gonna cross through the zebra and go back down to the Bruton Street. MCM here. Macintosh. Yes, Oman. Wow. Joe, why? It looks like a pub. Is it? Okay. Yeah. A restaurant, guys. Documete. So basically this building looks good. St. George Street, what is it on? So in other words, every white building that resembles anything to do with the ancient Roman architecture looks good to my eyes. So we're coming down from the Conduit Street, and we're heading towards the Bruton Street. So we're crossing the over to Bruton Street, guys. And this is one of the key streets of Mayfair as well. Hermes on the left hand side. If you look, go beyond the bus. And another fact, guys, one of the important figures, late Queen Elizabeth, actually was born in this street, in Burton Street. Another fact there. English flags are looking very good. Kenzo. Kenzo there. Nanashka. I don't know what Nanashka is. Sounds like Japanese. Isabella Marant. Delahunty. Looks like some sort of service businesses. Veronica Beard. So these are all the, I don't know if they're brands or anything, guys. I think they are. I never heard them. I never heard of them too many times. We're at the Berkeley Square, another family, a very noble family. Used to be part of the Mayfair. Is very prominent and famous. Called Berkeley family. UK here in Berkeley Square. So I shall give you facts on Berkeley Square. Stand by. Berkeley family is an ancient English noble family. It is one of the only 5 families in Britain that can trace its patrilineal descent back onto an Anglo-Saxon ancestor. The Berkeley family retains possession of much of the lands it held from the 11th and 12th centuries, centered on Berkeley Castle in Gloucestershire, which still belongs to their family. The square takes its name from the Berkeley family, whose original London home, Berkeley House, stood nearby until 1733. The square has been a home to various well-known residents, including Winston Churchill, who lived at number 48, and P.J. Wodehouse fictional character Bertie Wooster. This is an elegant square dotted with trees and benches, plus a religious statue and temporary art installations. If you enjoyed the narration, thanks for listening, and we shall continue our visit to Mayfair. What is this? Buckingham Palace. Mess. So this little pocket of Grosvenor, guys, is very dotted with trees, and it's dotted with many seating benches as well. As you can see, there's plenty of benches on the so-called little space here. Yeah, great. As you can see, because it's curvy, as we're going around the square, it's curvy, and you've got lots of also like motorcycle parking spaces as well. Like most of them are scooters. Did you know that Oxford Street receives 500,000? Yeah, there's 500,000 people daily, because it boasts of being the busiest shopping street in Europe. See, these little scooters look really, they're old scooters, by the way, guys. I haven't seen any motorcycle. Yeah, there is a motorcycle as well. Yeah, look at that super bike, there one. So we're gonna continue going around the square, guys, and back to Bruton Street. So back to Bruton Street, and now I shall give you facts, some background facts on Mayfair Place itself. So basically, Mayfair, guys, is about a 600-year-old region in London. And first of all, first 100 years, it was terrible with crime and prostitution. And towards going 17th century, that was in 16th century, coming towards 17th century, started to actually calm down and actually become what it is today. Welcome to Mayfair. London's most sought after neighbourhood is a home to foodie hotspot, health outlet street, world-class shopping on Mount Street, and beautiful green spaces including Grosvenor Square and Brownheart Gardens, not to mention some of the most famous addresses in the world. Boasting a central location in London's busy West End, Mayfair is a short stroll from Bond Street, Oxford Circus and Green Park tube stations. Mayfair is the perfect base for your office, shop or home. Mayfair's humble beginnings date back 400 years when it was unwanted muddy fields, originally developed to host the annual Mayfair in late 1600s, which drew a more sordid crowd. It was not until the 1700s when the Mayfair as we know it today began to take shape. Mayfair got its name in 1686 when King James II granted royal permission for a fair to be held on the site of what is now Shepherd's Market in the first 2 weeks of May. At this time, Soho, Whitehall and City were the addresses of choices for the wealthy aristocracy. So, the key streets, such as Duke Street and North Outlet Street, provide some of the Mayfair's finest homes, with residents enjoying easy access to Selfridges on Oxford Street, whilst being a short distance from the boutique luxury outlets on Mount Street and nearby Bond Street. Mayfair is renowned for its quality of its local amenities and is considered one of the safest and most desirable areas to live in. So we just gone through the narration, guys. Thanks for listening, and to continue our journey. So we are making a left turn into the Bond Street, guys. The Bond Street also one of the key streets in Mayfair, with lots of shops, bars, 5-star hotels, leisure, entertainment, you name it, it's all there. And yeah, basically 70% of affluents are here in Mayfair, some of them in Belgravia, some of them in Pimlico and Soho, I think, yeah. So really the street looks really good with all these backdrops across the buildings, attached from one side of the building to another building, and Smithson on the left hand side. Breitling, I don't know, guys, what that is Breitling. What sort of people live in Mayfair? Currently, Mayfair's population is comprised of more than 70% of wealthy individuals, compared to the 7% throughout the rest of the London. Among those living in Mayfair today, both Generation Z and Millennials, those born between 1980 and 1995, are drawn to the location or for myriad reasons. So basically, I adjusted the camera's exposure to the appropriate because we've got a sunny day, very bright sunny days, and just have to adjust the camera's exposure to compensate for highlights, because we have plenty of highlights from the ambient light. So I'll probably just put it down a quarter of the exposure. So I'm just crossing this road while there's a red light on, which is a good idea. So as you can see, guys, we're heading towards Oxford Street there. See the middle of the screen, building with dark square windows, white building. That's the Oxford Street. And once we reach there, we're going to make a left turn, heading towards a Duke. Yeah, it's a Duke Street. Another Key Street or Mayfair. So Oxford Street is also part of the Mayfair, guys. Obviously everybody knows about Oxford Street. Yeah, as you know, we're walking this way. This one goes towards the Marble Arch and Hyde Park. I think that's the end of the Oxford Street. If you go the opposite direction, Oxford Street finishes with the New Oxford Street. I think it's about a mile long, maybe a little bit more. So basically, I used to be once, back in the days, I'm talking about 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I used to be an O2 customer for at least 5 years. And they still exist. The shops are still here and there, very few though. So basically, you need to get used to online procedures nowadays, right? So everything's basically 70-80% of the purchases and services you need to search online first. Also candy. So basically this is the David Street, and we're gonna go across. Next one is going to be Duke Street. So basically, guys, this is Oxford Street on a normal days. So as you can see, the crowd, it's not because it's a certain day, because it's a normal day. Today is Tuesday, 13th of June 2023. Weather 26 degrees Celsius. Very fine weather today. And we're passing by Gilbert Street. Gilbert, it reminds me of the rock guitarist, virtuoso rock guitarist, Paul Gilbert, when I actually come across the Gilbert name. Union Street. So we're having a little adventure, guys, trying to actually get to the Duke Street. It's amazing. There's so many razor streets. So this is the Duke Street, guys, as you can see. You can see the sign on the building, and it's the corner of the little snack spot here in the corner of the street. So we're gonna walk down on Duke Street, and we should come to what you call a Grosvenor Square. I'm actually gonna have a look at around there. Yeah. Attendant, coffee roasters. 65 Duke Street. As you can see, guys, on the right hand side there is a terrace, and basically it's just a terrace. It's not all sitting sections, sitting spaces that you can actually sit down and do whatever you want, like rest, eat, drink, whatever you want to do up there. I used that other day and just sitting there. It was quite pleasant. It's quite higher ground basically. So this is to me it's a terrace. Yeah. So basically people just come up here and just sit about, relax basically. And that glassy looking building there, it's not a shop or anything like that. It's always closed. I don't know what it was. There's nothing, it's doing basically nothing, just sitting there. And from this angle you can see all the red buildings, red brick buildings. Here's the church there. Guys, after the little information, background information, we're going to make our way down there and continue going down the Druga Street, and we're going to head towards the Grosvenor Square. So you've got to be careful coming down these stairways because they're very, very short. They're like half a feet short. You can easily trip over. As I talking about tripping, I was walking on the Westminster Bridge. Just got to be careful. Walking the Westminster Bridge, and on the left hand side, coming from the south, the pavement was facing to the road, and this guy in shorts and in glasses, he just tripped over and died. And I didn't know what was happening. It was right. It was about something like feet away from me when he tripped and he fell. Apparently, some guy and me just helped him up, but he didn't actually hurt himself. So after 5 minutes he was fine. So he was just walking normally, and all of a sudden he just got tripped. I think he tripped one of those sticking up slabs on the pavement, the sidewalk, and he tripped over and he lost his balance, and he went face downwards, hitting on the ground. So it was a kind of a impact that was noticeable. So that's the little story that I discovered, that I experienced today. So guys, we're at the Grosvenor Road. So Grosvenor Square is where did it get their Grosvenor name? Is coming from a Grosvenor family. They used to actually be owners of the Grosvenor Square, and they actually formed what you call Pimlico, Mayfair and Belgravia. So one of the rich family back in the days. Okay. Right now I will give you background facts on Grosvenor Square. Stand by. Grosvenor family ancestry can be traced back almost 1,000 years, while its association with London property began over 340 years ago. In 1677, when the land to the west of the City of London came into the family following a marriage of Sir Thomas Grosvenor to Mary Davis. So Grosvenor Square is a large garden square in the Mayfair district of Westminster, Greater London. It is the centerpiece of Mayfair property of the Duke of Westminster and takes its name from Duke's surname Grosvenor. It was developed for fashionable residence in the 18th century. In the 20th century, it had American and Canadian diplomatic presence, and currently is mixed use with commercial premises. Busy. It's kind of a busy, but it's not like a rush busy. It's like constant cars on the roads. Like this is a street and there's cars about. So you have to really be careful. I better go to the zebra. Much more safer way to cross the road. Okay, we're at the North Audley Street, guys, and this is our third encounter, and we've got 2 more streets to go through. So on this street there's lots of upscale restaurants and shops, retailers, and lots of homes as well. Actually, homes are close in Mayfair. It's about close to about 10 million pounds sterling, and in the past year they generated sales of 165 million pounds sterling. Here we are, side restaurants on the street, guys. So most of the stuff is on the left hand side, coming from north side of the Audley Street. And then across the road you got the Ivy Asia. Anfield Cross. Another luxury upscale eating place. Fish and chips? Oh. Soulcare girl. So we're coming to your Oxford Street, guys. Right, let's cross with everybody. When I feel like crossing the road, guys, with lots of crowd, it reminds me of one of those American movies, like crossing the junction and someone actually messing around with the computer, and the whole lights go haywire, and it was trying to cross, and then cars keep coming in. Chaos. That's what it reminds me of, one of those movies. So we are making a journey, guys, to the Park Street. We need to be actually on the other side of the road. It's a convenience. Just find a crossing. We got River Island here, guys. So basically we need to get to Park Street. And we're going to walk Park Street all the way going south of London. So the Park Street is not really one of the key streets, but it is in Mayfair. So we're just going to use it to actually come to Mount Street. So basically, guys, this is the Park Street. And we're gonna make a way all the way down Park Street and come to Mount Street. It's not that far. As you can see on this street, we have plenty of red buildings, very pricey homes on the street. I think I mentioned earlier on, maximum price, or maybe a little bit more, is about 10 million sterling. And sales are going up in the last 12 months from Mayfair to 165 million pounds sterling, which is great. So basically, as you know guys, I done a Forest Power Station Mall a few weeks ago. Check my channel, it's called Touristic Walks, and it's called the 9 million project, £9 billion project. And also the apartments there are much more modern. They're not like a red building or anything like that, which is made in a modern way. They go up to something like 5 to 6 million each apartment. It's about like one bedroom apartment. They start from 1 million up to 6 million. And when they started off back in last year in September, they used to cost somewhere around 10 million as well. So the market, well, is a little bit dropped on there, but it's still very, very pricey. So guys, there's only one street that we didn't go to, that's Brooke Street. The Brooke Street actually has a few famous figures actually used to be there. I think it was Handel and Hendrix used to live there. Hendrix, the rock guitarist, actually used to, their home was his former home, and now it's called Handel and Hendrix Museum. So you can just go in there and have a look around basically. It's the only street that I could not go because my plan didn't fit the schedule. So I might do a second video on Mayfair and do the rest of the streets. So look out for that one. And in Mayfair also another famous people used to live. Something like Winston Churchill and, as I mentioned earlier, Queen Elizabeth. And I shall give you more information now who used to actually live. Famous people lived in Mayfair. Stand by. Famous residents. The famous residents of the area including Sir Winston Churchill, George Frederick Handel and Jimi Hendrix, whose former residents are now open to the public as Handel and Hendrix Museum on Brooke Street. We haven't visited the Brooke Street guys, but we will on the second video, so look out for that one. And so, to continue, the former Prime Minister also lived in Mayfair. 19th century author Fanny Burney lived on Bolton Street, and Jeeves creator P.G. Wodehouse resided on Dunraven Street. Lord Nelson lived on New Bond Street, and Florence Nightingale lived and died on the house of South Street. And so, keep your eyes peeled when you wander around Mayfair, as many of these famous residents are commemorated with the blue plaque. It's about 11:30 in the morning guys, and I'm close to finishing the video. So the whole video actually takes about, if you put days together, it's about I think it takes about 3 days to do a video because of editing. And then you got first visit and second visit and editing, which actually accumulates to 3 days. Editing takes a really long time because of it's really a slow process of editing the video. So you got to actually, there's many things like voiceovers and cutting and pasting to this port, to this position, to that position, so it actually takes time. So it takes 3 days. As you can see guys, this is a very expensive home. The whole thing looks like a palace. You can see the arches, the entrance has arches. guys, this is my first attempt at doing Mayfair, and I will do another video at some point before summer is over. I will do another video on Mayfair to go around even more. So we're gonna do another crossing. So we're free to cross. At this moment now is really old. We're doing now is basically walking because there's not much going on. It's in Mayfair, it's just a street, functional street. And on the left hand side, as you can see, they actually decorate the whole bars, division bars with flowers. However, in the winter, they might not be there because they are winter. There's no sun to protect them. Reeves News. So we are passing the Reeves News Street. Hopefully the road next to it is the Mountain Street. And Mountain Street is the key street of Mayfair as well. It boasts of like lots of retailers, shops, bars, hotels. It's where the actually people come, basically going out. So as you can see, these homes are excellent. You can see. Very attractive. I think there's so much red buildings. As you can see, guys, well, lots of expensive cars as well. And we're coming up to, I think that's Oley Street. We just passed by previously. Now we are going through the cross junction. And we're going to cross over. See that building there, guys, in the middle of the screen? I think that is a trunk. This boutique trunk shop at the ground floor. Trunk means is some kind of underwear for a woman. You can see this building. It is a unique building, guys. I'm just gonna walk you through this building. At the Mount Street. So I'm getting confused lately. Rectification, we're at the Mount Street.
Amazing. Thanks so much.
Scott's eating area here, guys, on the left hand side. So basically, it's a continuance of that building after Another one of these blocks here. Kind of interesting, or intriguing, basically. Intriguing or interesting. Another good looking building on the left hand side, guys. Looks like a hotel. And its own restaurant as well. Seats are empty because it's a weekday. It looks like it's shut basically. Interesting. So basically this is a political pool that actually runs with a couple of trees in it as well. It runs and comes down the step into the groove. It goes somewhere else and comes back up again basically. There's a little okay. Hope that was fun, guys. We are coming to the end of the Mount Street. You can see these homes are looking so good looking buildings here as well. See, so there's some smoke coming out of that, guys. I don't know if it's a cold or hot, but it happened when I was here for a dummy running. So we're just gonna go around this little this building, Carlos Place, and we're going into a mountain road. Yeah. There's not much to see here because I haven't been here myself around this spot. However, it's still interesting. It does look like ordinary living space, basically. So guys, we've come to the end of Mayfair, and thanks for watching, and keep an eye for my next video. Don't forget to do the drill, do subscribe, will help the channel, and share, comment, like, and click the notification bell icon for my upcoming videos. So I'll see you in my next mission. Adios, bye for now, peace. Enjoy the rest of the video with music.